For our ICU, we're going to be talking about how to make an aldehyde and a little more about it.
Here, we have the formation of ethanol, which is also known as acetaldehyde. This is identified as an aldehyde due to its carbonyl functional group at the end of its carbon chain.
For ethanol to be produced, an ethanol and an oxidization agent must be used. This is the basic structure of making an aldehyde. In order to convert ethanol into an aldehyde, we have to make a double bond O, which is only possible if we get rid of two hydrogens.
First, we need to take a look at our reactants. The first one we have is ethanol. Ethanol is a primary alcohol which is identified by the position of its hydroxyl group. A primary alcohol is defined as having an alcohol group directly attached to one carbon. Primary alcohols are the only alcohols that can be oxidized to form aldehydes or carboxylic acids depending on reaction conditions.
Now let's take a look at our second reactant. Our second reactant is our oxidizing agent, or oxygen. Any oxidization agent can be used. For example, potassium dichromate could be used to oxidize ethanol. When writing out oxidization equations, it is assumed that there is an oxidizing agent of some sort, which is represented using an O in a bracket. And here is a short legend for your reference.
Now we need to take a look at the intermediate steps. Firstly, for an aldehyde to be formed, there are specific conditions it needs to undergo reaction. Firstly, it must be vaporized, then condensed by cooling the vapor and collecting the resulting liquid. This process is also known as distillation and is represented on the arrow of the equation.
Another thing that happens during the intermediate is that a chemical compound is used for the reaction to occur. For this specific reason, potassium permanganate or sodium dichromate can be used as a catalyst. No catalyst means no reaction, which means no aldehyde.
When the reaction occurs, two hydrogen atoms are removed from the ethanol to form H2O with the oxidizing agent. One of the hydrogens from the ethanol chain is removed along with the hydrogen from the hydroxyl group.
The removal of the hydrogen from the OH group leaves the oxygen dissatisfied, needing two more electrons. This leads to a pair of electrons moving from the oxygen atom to form a double bond with the carbon atom.
The products of this reaction should be an aldehyde. Ours is ethanol, along with water and other products from the oxidizing agent.
It is difficult to oxidize a primary alcohol and only end up with one product because the only way to form an aldehyde is when a H2O molecule is formed from the hydrogen atom on the alcohol group and a hydrogen on the carbon chain is bonded with the oxidizing agent, which is also known as dehydrogenation. A way to test if an aldehyde is formed is by doing Tollens test, which is also known as a silver mirror test. Tollens region consists of silver ammonium, which reacts with aldehyde and creates a gray to black precipitate or a silver mirror. Another test that can be used is the Fillings test. Filling solution is a copper 2 compound. Copper 2 is reduced to copper and the aldehyde is reduced to acids. It precipitates confirm the presence of aldehyde.
The last test for an aldehyde is Schiff's test. The presence of a pink, red, or magenta color indicates the presence of an aldehyde group.
Here are a couple of the common characteristics of an aldehyde, starting with its pleasant smell, its ability to easily oxidize, which leads it to be more reactive due to its ability to undergo reactions. And compared to ketones, they also have lower melting and boiling points due to its less polarized carbonyl groups.
Lastly, aldehydes are used in tanning, preserving, and embalming. It is also used as a germicide, fungicide, and insecticide for plants and vegetables, but its largest use is in the production of certain polymeric materials.